suit. Vibranium?
Hello, fellow true believers, and welcome to Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And folks, on this episode, I want to talk about why I think the Black Panther movie coming up, Black Panther 2, or Black Panther Wakanda Forever, is going to be the first and highest grossest Marvel movie ever. It's going to gross $3 billion, I think. And why I also think it's going to make more money domestically than Black Adam will make internationally. So stay tuned for a really cool video. I hope you enjoy it. And we're going to find out a lot of cool stuff. And it's going to be fun to talk about this movie. Super excited for the Black Panther movie coming out on the 10th, or rather the 11th. So stay tuned. Hey folks, so let's get this part of it out of the way early. The reason I think Black Adam is not going to be such a great movie is because, number one, nothing against The Rock, but The Rock is just pretty much stars in everything you could imagine. From the Tooth Fairy to Jungle Cruise to everything you could imagine. He doesn't have a heart and soul for the character. When you think of certain characters like Christopher Reeve, you think Superman. You think about, Jared Leto, you might think of the Joker, but he's just all over the place. And so you have that, and you also have it doesn't have the icon feeling of the Black Panther because, and we'll go into that later in the video, but the fact that DC is in such disarray right now. DC just canceled the Batgirl movie, they spent $90 million on that movie. It's canceled, it's shelved indefinitely, which pretty much is going to be canceled. It's a tax write-off. We don't know what's going to happen to DC. I was talking to a great friend of mine, Lewis, for a podcast the other day, and we were talking about how who knows what will happen to these intellectual properties going forward for DC. But again, I just think The Rock he's a great guy and he's a good actor and all that. And certainly the guy works out. You got to give him credit. But as far as being a character in DC, I just think he falls short of it. So I think that movie is going to be not such a great movie. It's going to do okay, and the Black Panther is going to far surpass it. So now let's talk about the Black Panther as to why I think this movie is going to gross $3 billion and be the highest grossing movie that the MCU has ever put out. So let's talk about the Black Panther. Where do we begin? This awesome movie. First off, let's talk about Chadwick Boseman. Passed away at 43 years old. So the movie's going to have a little homage to Chadwick Boseman when it starts. So why is this movie going to make $3 billion? Well, think about it. You have the sentimental factor for Chadwick Boseman, who did a magnificent job as the Black Panther. You also have a very strong female cast in the Black Panther. So, typically, I know for my wife, and it's very hard for her to go to a Marvel movie. And typically, the Marvel movie's still a little more slanted to men, and, it appeals more to men. It's changing. It's getting better. Same as all the DC movies and stuff, too. But for the Black Panther movie, you have a very strong female cast. And then, hey, let's talk about the Black Panther again. The first black superhero for Marvel, dating back to when I was a kid, back to the late 60s. Super cool character, just incredible. So much history there. So you have that going for you. You also have the MCU universe, which really has it all together. Talk about the platform of Disney Plus, where you can go back and watch the original Black Panther movie. You could watch how all the correlations come about. And then finally, when you think about the Black Adam movie, it's almost like, to me, ho-hum, here's another, DC movie, another superhero movie of a guy coming down, misunderstood. But you look at and this really isn't too much spoilers. Unless you really, and I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie because I haven't seen it myself, but the thought of, and you can see this in the trailers, of course, the thought of one of Marvel's most popular, strongest characters, Namor, who's the monarch of Atlantis, coming in the movie. And you basically have in this movie two hidden cultures at war with each other. You have Wakanda, and you have the whole Submariner place, which is Atlantis. And these are two very secret places, and the lore and the thought of the story is just so much stronger on the Marvel side. And for that reason, I think this is going to be the first movie in the Marvel and the MCU to hit $3 billion. Now, the original Black Panther made almost $1.4 billion, but that was about 5 years ago. So now, and also put into the play that you're also going to have the movie released right before Thanksgiving. So you have the best quarter of the year, I think, to have a movie released, because you have kids are going to be off of school for Thanksgiving. Then it's going to be held over through Christmas. So I think this movie, and of course you could say the same for Black Adam, but I think that is what's really going to put the Black Panther Wakanda movie over the top. It's going to be the first $3 billion movie, and I just think it's a tremendous job that the MCU is doing, and I think it's a great homage to the character. The fact that oh, and we're not going to talk about. There's also going to be a surprise character. This is just a little thing to throw out there. Why are these two secret societies, if you will, fighting each other? Well, there's a mystery character involved in it. I don't want to throw that one out there. I have my suspicions of who it is, but it's also a very, very strong and powerful character in the DC. I'm sorry, in the MCU universe, which has not really been introduced yet at all. And so there's so much out there. There's so much potential for this movie to be big and tremendous, and I think it's totally going to deliver. So that's my prediction, sitting here in the third week in October, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Let me know what you think. And a big shout out to all the Marvel folks out there and all the comic book folks and everybody out there responsible for making the movie and letting us see this movie, and all the fans out there, of course, who really make it happen. If it wasn't for us fans, there wouldn't be much to speak of. So everybody take care of yourself. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. For now, this is Al signing off for Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. See you next time, true believers. Take care. Bye-bye.